What up? How's it going? Hey, that last episode brought something into it that I didn't think we were going to see for a while. And I didn't think that we would get so much into it. And that's the husband's perspective. I want to see going forward, what's his play? What is he going to do? Now he has to go back into Gilead, which I want to know how much of the U.S. that they took over, right? Like I want to know about that because they said they're battling in Florida. They alluded to that early on. But yeah, I want to see he's doing some espionage. Is he gonna be like a killer or something? Like he ain't been doing no training or nothing. He been living it up, right? Like, you know what? I take that back. Not living it up. I don't want to use those words. What he's been doing is living life as normal as can be in that situation while still doing what he does, right? Like I said, even though he was doing all that work and he has his binder and all that, you can tell when he saw that paper, that the letter, that it hit him like, wait, she's actually alive? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had resigned to himself to the fact that he might never see her again. And this was in a way probably keeping his mind off of it. But hey, I want to get into this because now added another piece to the story, and it's not jumbled or anything like this. Everything goes together. The way they're layering everything, I like it because for me, it's paced at a way where I can pick up everybody's motivations and I can make my own decisions from there. Like even someone was speaking about in the comment section on Patreon about how Aunt Lydia, right? Yes, evil scumbag, but she really believe in this. The Waterfords, hey, they wavering, right? There's no waver in Aunt Lydia. She's about this, right? Like you see disappointment. Remember when she thought that Alfred was pregnant after she had done something to her? I know I'm talking a lot, but like I actually like this show, right? Because I can't really explain it. It's on that same level as Westworld with me, where I don't care how many people like it or talk about it or anything like that. I'm enjoying the community so far that likes it, and yeah, let's go ahead and start this episode.
I wish this story were different. I wish it showed me in a better light, in a different story. Maybe I wouldn't be such a fucking weakling. So I've gone back to Nick. Time after time, on my own.
I knew that was going to happen.
I want to know him, memorize him, so I can live on the image later.
2 months at Walmart, 3 weeks construction, you know how this looks.
Like I can't hold a job. I'll take anything. What about retail?
Hey, loser. You heard the man. Time to give up.
Thank you. I'm not sure what that dude is doing.
Hey,
That's enough! You! Get out!
Why you hit that dude? But how does he become an eye?
you okay?
Worthy path.
You sue me or something? Let me buy you a cup of coffee.
I think I know how he ends up towards that path.
So what are you gonna do now? It's hard making it in a society that only cares about profit and pleasure. No wonder God has turned his back on us. No wonder there are no children.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Now there you're wrong. There's this group that
Uh,
wants to set things right.
Yep.
Clean up this country. We have chapters in 30 states. I head up one of them.
oh, wow.
The Sons of Jacob. Come with me to a meeting. I think you'll like what you hear. Who knows, maybe there's a job in it for you.
I ain't joining no
You're
group
not alone, Nick.
with nobody who look like him as the head. He looked like an evildoer. Like, what? I'm not joining no group where he's even like the head of a chapter. No, sir.
How's my fair little one this evening? Up for some excitement?
Ugh.
Now first, we're gonna have to do something about those legs.
What? He about to shave her legs? Y'all go against the grain or with the grain?
Doesn't that feel nice?
Yes. He's good at this. He's done it before.
That's his kink. You know what genre he clicks on.
You remember how?
What is?
Guess we'll find out.
He gave her lipstick.
What is that?
Hope it all fits. I had to guess the size.
What the fuck is he doing? I don't like him. Motherfucker weird. Could he have done that in a more creepy way? No. No, that was about as creepy as it could get. This man just sniffed her essence. And I'm disgusted.
Mrs. Waterford went to visit her mother. She won't be back until tomorrow.
Coming to the checkpoint, sir.
Pull up your hood.
I bet it's a whole place where all of these commanders take these women where they ain't supposed to be doing that shit.
How are you?
Commander Waterford. Mrs. Waterford. Have a good night, sir.
Aren't you enjoying yourself?
It's so beautiful, and I don't usually get to see it like this.
Ah, but tonight, you aren't you. Past the gateway, wives aren't even allowed.
I've never been out this far. Not since before the Red Center.
There's much more excitement to come.
The human race is at risk. What is important is efficiency.
So what do you propose?
It's not rocket science. All remaining fertile women should be collected and impregnated. By those of superior status, of course.
Talking about concubines.
I don't care what you want to call it.
The wives would never accept it.
So, as I suspected, they already knew it was some horse shit. They came back behind it and used Bible verses to try to make it seem more holier than it is. They knew it was some horse shit. My man immediately invoked concubines. Yes, it is. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy that they're sitting here talking about it. You know how shit go behind closed doors. No matter what they telling you out in the open, they know what's really up. Like, so when you like, I know I'm not crazy. This is what it really is. Oh, they know that too. They're just not going to tell the masses that. And the masses are stupid people. They're dumb people. Everybody who followed along on this was stupid people.
That's a non-issue.
We won't succeed without their support, you know that.
Maybe the wife should be there for the act. Could be less of a violation. There is scriptural precedent.
Act may not be the best name. From a
Ceremony.
branding perspective.
Branding. See?
The ceremony?
Boy.
Sounds good, nice and godly. The wives would eat that shit up.
Sorry. Guthrie's a great field commander. He took New York. He has God in his heart, even if his mouth is sometimes a bit blasphemous.
I think you're right, sir. It's better not to form attachments.
Better for whom?
Everybody.
This is the back entrance. Can't exactly use the front door. Your contraband.
Is he trying to like show off for her? Is this his version of that? If you don't get the fuck out of here, Commander Waterford, eat a dick. All right in front of Nick. Her overall feelings won't match her initial feelings. Yeah, it's like shock and surprise. But once it was all done, I'd be fucking livid. You motherfuckers in here doing this and you got me. You got me out there in this fake world.
I thought these kinds of places were forbidden.
Officially.
Unofficially?
Oh, we turn a blind eye.
They're watching football,
What'll it be?
all sorts of shit. They know this world they built up is horse shit. Watch this. If the masses who support them found out they were doing this, they would still support them and find reasons. Well, you know, God ordained them to be able to have that power. They can get away with that, you know. Solomon had mad. They always go back to Solomon.
Who are all these people?
All women who couldn't assimilate. Some were working girls before. That one there, she's a sociology professor, or she was. We've got lawyers, a CEO, a few journalists. I'm told you can have quite a good conversation with some of them if what you feel like is talking.
Oh, but this makes sense. This is the only place that she'd be dead otherwise, or in the colony.
I'm so sorry I left you at the train.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh my God, Janine. Janine said you were dead.
I didn't believe that crazy bitch.
It's temporary. The commander smuggled me in for the night.
Some of them do that. It's just another shitty power trip. Hey, you were just here. You know the rules. Get back out on the floor. Find me later in the dorm.
I mean, they even got the aunts on it.
Okay.
Brandy, scotch, vodka.
It's good stuff, too, courtesy of our Russian visitors.
You got hair dye.
Their wives do like their illegal chemicals.
It's all here. Oxy, Percocet, speed, pregnancy tests. What's ketamine for?
Some of the guests have sleeping beauty fantasies, but the girls use it, too. They'll spike the guy's drink, go through their phone after they pass out.
The eyes, thank you for your service.
The eyes are like the CIA. They're going to do whatever to make sure this thing keeps running, whether it's by any questionable means or going against the ideals of said nation. They're going to do that. I thought he was doing this on his own, but he let it be known. The eyes, thank you.
Stick around. I'll make you that pesto that got me a James Beard nomination.
Another time.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Okay. Pleasure doing business with you.
That was the one from before that he had talked about.
What did you think was going to happen?
And he doing it again. Except this one gonna go different. She gonna lash out at you, not herself.
We've been hearing things from other districts. Purges. Could just be rumors, I don't know. No one's made a move yet here, but I can't help feeling there's a target on my back.
Well, I suppose that's what happens when you're the boss.
You do understand me, don't you? What do you think of our little club?
Why did you bring me here?
I thought you'd enjoy it. Did you like that?
Yes.
I don't need to be quiet.
She was reading too much and he's licking her nub. They gonna make sure you feel the vileness of this situation. And it is vile.
Did you pick this out?
Government issue. Why isn't it me? I took the train into Boston like we planned. Remember the safe house Quaker family? They about lost their shit when they saw an ant at the front door. I got lucky. They knew someone in the underground.
What's the underground?
Female road. They're smuggling handmaids out of the country, trying to. Anyway, I didn't get that far. Office park outside the city. They shot the guys who helped me. I was a corrupting influence. They took me somewhere else. After they finished their questions, they gave me a choice. The colonies or Jezebels. All the booze and drugs you want, food's good.
We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
June, I know the way out. Black van, feet first. That's it. Just Gilead, no one gets out.
Luke got out.
Don't worry, we'll get you home before you turn into a pumpkin.
He thinks he's saying some smooth lines. Like, that shit's so whack.
His aide tells me he's skimming from transportation budget.
Excellent. The uniformed core of the eyes is our most visible face, but our best intelligence comes from our plainclothes operatives.
Right.
You do understand that as an eye, you'll chiefly be reporting on the activities of your own commander, Fred Waterford. My only hope, Commander Waterford has better sense when the new one arrives.
Joe?
Yep.
Nick. I'll see you later. Nick,
We can't do this anymore.
you know I had to go with him last night, right? You know I didn't have a choice. I don't have any choice. So talk to me. Talk to me, Nick. I don't know anything about you, you know. Nick, you won't tell me anything. So I don't know anything. I don't know who you are. Is this it? Is this enough for you, this bullshit life? You want to polish his car and once in a while just try to get a handmaid pregnant?
I'm being stupid. You know I'm being stupid. It's too dangerous.
Very dangerous.
What is it?
Why?
Could end up on the wall.
Why you say that?
At least someone will remember me.
She'd rather die than not be a human.
At least someone will care when I'm gone.
My name is Nick Blaine. I'm from Michigan.
Well, under his eye, Guardian Blaine. I brought you something.
I don't want it.
I had it in my bedroom growing up as a child. I thought you might like it. Thank you. The perfect gift. A girl trapped in a box. She
Yo.
only dances when someone else opens the lid.
Damn.
When someone else winds her up. If this is a story I'm telling, I must be telling it to someone. There's always someone. Even when there is no one, I will not be that girl in the box.
First, let me start by saying, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I got a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. Check it out. Hey, I had to go real quick and check back a scene in the show before I did my review. And the scene I'm talking about is when Nick is talking to the Martha in the kitchen at that hotel where all that stuff is going down. And so he's giving her drugs and they're having a conversation. He's like, hair dye? She says, yeah, the wives like to blah, blah, blah. And then he asks about ketamine. Like, what's that for? Okay. She said some of the guys like to do a Sleeping Beauty fantasy, but she also said that some of the girls like to, spike the guys' drinks, go through their phone, stuff like that. But then Nick said something that was interesting. He said, the eyes thank you for your service. And so I talked about during that scene how, I just assumed that the eyes were just secret police. Okay. But I'm like, no, there's more to them. They're an intelligence agency who it seems are doing things, even if it goes against the ideals of what's put out there, as long as they're keeping the structure that's there afloat, sort of like the CIA, right? Who does things outside of the U.S.'s so-called ideals, but they do it all over the world, and they're doing it, they say, in the interest of the nation, okay? So when he said that, I'm like, okay, I thought I had figured out. But then we see later on, Nick is with the guy who brought him in, and that guy said something interesting. He goes, yo, the eyes who are out in the street, they do their job by being like the show of force. He said, but the ones who are underground, the plainclothes ones, those are our biggest asset, right? They get close to people. I understood that. He's looking at a commander and all that. But the thing I didn't get was a couple things. Well, if that's the case, he also makes a statement. I'm talking about that leader who brought Nick in. He says, we need to clean this up. Clean up Gilead, basically. And I'm like, oh, but what we just saw Nick doing, he wasn't cleaning shit up. It was like a full-on black market. They were giving them things that, you know what I mean? Putting drugs into the community. The man who brought in Nick, who's now very high-ranking, of course, he brings up the fact that Waterford's handmaid killed herself. And he's like, well, maybe next time he'll, basically be more careful. But he didn't say more careful. He was like, he'll do the right thing. So they know about him. Now I'm wondering why they haven't been sick on him is because he's so powerful. Because the guy Guthrie, I believe his name was, who was sitting in the car with him, they was bringing him in. So they know something was going on with Waterford. There's nothing they could do about it. And Nick doesn't seem to have told him about it. Nick had tears in his eyes. And I feel like he had something going with that handmaid also, along with Waterford also. Or it could just be, like, I don't want to state that what I'm saying is fact. It could just be he was sad because, dang, she lost her life. They living in that hell. But it seemed as if he had something like a deep bond with her. So I'm trying to figure out, is it just that Waterford's too powerful? Is it because of his wife? Because once again, this is what I want to say. As I said during this, when an organization like that does what they do, at the top, they not following the same rules, laws, and bylaws, and following the ideals set forth by that so-called party. They're they're doing that so they can keep the masses in check. But them, they don't got to follow it, right? So I suspect Waterford because he has that connection to his wife is the only reason he hasn't been brought in. And she's smart. No one could just admit it, though. And I know they had somebody there has to have thoughts like that, because when they were sitting in the car talking about setting up this whole Handmaids thing, my man brought up concubine, and then they were setting forth, well, how the women gonna take it? Oh, don't worry about that. And he's like, yeah, but we need the backing of the women. Of course he would say that, right? Because of who his wife is. His wife, before all that took place, was very important in that society. So then we get to the point where the Waterford guy, he's real creepy. He's a fucking creep, man. Like, I never seen a guy be that creepy throughout an entire scene. That wasn't a serial killer. He may be. And the reason that's funny to me is because he be saying stuff and he think he cool or fly. It's just that he's in a powerful position where no one could just straight up tell him, yo, you mad whack and corny. Like, don't, But when I saw it, it made sense. You see, there was no shock in my face. I'm like, oh, of course. Of course. I want y'all to think about something for a minute. Think about chattel slavery as it was in the U.S. And I want you to think about a lot of what that was based on is the so-called inferiority of one race and, the superiority of another. And miscegenation was wrong and you can't do blah, blah, blah. Slave owners were raping those women, weren't they? They were still doing what they were doing, even though these people were so-called lesser than them. They were still doing that, right? Not like a little bit either. Like it was like the status quo. Like that's what they did. They used them and abused them. So of course that was going to happen. And I missed it and didn't realize what was going to take place. So when we see all of that going on, and the way they worded it though, because the way this society worked, I just assume off to the colony for you if you can't get along. But they're giving them options. There's one chick who was a sociology professor. So she was talking big shit. Like, man, fuck out of here. This shit whack, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we gonna send you to the colony. You wanna go to the colony or you wanna go do some work? We ain't gonna make you a handmaid, but you gotta put in some work. She like, I'm not going to that fucking colony. Right? Moira, I'm not going to that fucking colony. That's what she said. Don't even try to escape this. Like, it's going to get real hectic. I'm like, yeah, I don't fault them for that decision at all. You know what I mean? And I don't even want to do that thing where I'm like, who has it worse? Nah, fuck that. The whole situation is fucked. So I'm never that, right? Then I want to talk about, how the whole thing is stripping these women of their humanity. But at the same time, it's stripping everybody of their humanity. And I think they were attempting to show that with Nick. Because remember this. Nick is, when we first meet him, he like, yeah, he's not supposed to touch a woman. He's not supposed, all he is a driver. Okay. And then later on, we see they use him. Hey, we need you to try to get her pregnant. Using him now, right? What else? So we saw all of that. But then they did an interesting thing, and we see how he joins. And it was funny because once I think it was called, I can't remember. It was something path. And that made me know, this guy is this is what's going to bring him into that, into the whole Gilead movement or whatever. The Sons of Jacob, that horseshit. And that's what it was, right? He talked to him. He G'd him. He got him into that organization. My man is an eye. And so the fact that he was talking to somebody so high ranking so early on, and the guy saw something in him, he saw like a fire in him, and he brought him in. Now, the whole time he's there, it's not like that was, my man has no humanity. Like, he's just meant to be a robot, but he not. So both of them, Alfred and him, are with each other. Nick, to experience a little bit of life. Her, because as I said, I was like, man, she's sticking it to the man and all. Nah, she even said that. I wish I could say that, but it's more than that at this point. Which I think I alluded to this where she was talking about how Nick Nick thinks this is gonna happen again, but nah. I already knew she was gonna come back. They're both alone. Think about how that society is. All of them motherfuckers are alone. Think Miss Waterford alone. The commander alone. All of them are alone. Like that whole society is fucked. It's so goddamn dumb. It ruined community. So all of them are alone. And specifically the handmaids. Let's keep it on them, right? She was so hurt. Like, damn, don't do this, right? You know what I mean? But then when she said what she said about, he said it's dangerous. And she said, no, it's not. And I was like, what? Why would you say that? And for her, she's like, she cool with being a martyr over this. She like, listen, as long as motherfuckers remember me. The thing with Nick is he's too, you know what I mean? He's too into it. Like, it's one thing doing stuff as an eye to stay within the job and no one be the wiser. But it's another thing because he done told her he's an eye and he could slip up off of that. Another good episode. Next episode. Want to see where this is going because she said, hey, you motherfuckers gonna know me. Like she, little by little, she's working her way up to being a revolutionary. Like she's talking herself more and more into it. But how does that begin? Where does that go? You know what I mean? Like I said, next episode.